Welcome back to This Week in the USHL. Bernie Corbett once again joined by a current USHL player here this week, Ryan Carpenter. He is a second-year player in the USHL, a forward for the Sioux City Musketeers from Oviedo, Florida. And Ryan, another non-traditional hockey area, but in the USHL, I don't think there's any such thing. There's actually several guys from the state of Florida that are playing in the USHL right now.
Yeah, I know there's a few guys that are playing, and I don't know. It's definitely grown in Florida. I mean, it's definitely not as big as up here in some of the northern states and in Canada, but it's starting to grow piece by piece.
No, indeed it is, and you and the Musketeers are starting to make a move for the playoffs here, hitting the stretch run in impressive fashion. 4-0-1 in your last 5. You've got just 8 games left, and making a pretty strong push, similar to last year. But of course, last year you fell just a point short. Hopefully, this time you will qualify for the postseason.
Yeah, hopefully that's the plan right now, and I think we're just trying to keep everyone focused and keep it one game at a time. Because that's what last year we ended it on a pretty good run and just came out a point short. But I know last year's focus was one game at a time, and that's all you can control.
Well, you're second on the Musketeers right now in scoring. You've got 37 points, 12 and 25 and 51 games, a team leader in assists. And most recently, a big night on Saturday, 3 points, pair of goals, including the game winner, and got that one shorthanded in a win over Muskegon. Just to talk about that game a little bit.
Yeah, that was a back-and-forth game, especially early. A lot of scoring, a lot of offense that game. We came off of a tough loss in Indiana, so we had to come out flying, and they beat, I think, Cedar Rapids the night before. So we knew we had a tough game at hand, and the first period we scored first, but then they came back and with 2 right away, and we ended up scoring with I think like 7 seconds left to tie it up, which was a big momentum. And then going into the second, I remember I think they got the first goal in the second period, but we responded big time with a couple goals to take the lead, and then we didn't look back from them.
You followed that up with a big win over the Omaha Lancers, and always tough when you go to play Omaha. Now momentum factor seems to be shifting in your favor as you hit another pretty important stretch of games here if you're going to make that postseason.
Yeah, we seem to be. It seems to be clicking a little bit. Before we were maybe losing some close games there. Now it seems some of the close games have been going in our favor. So we know it's just been got to keep working hard and stick to the game plan. Hopefully it keeps paying off.
Well, as a second-year player, it's interesting to note with some of the guys that we talked to what the differences is from a player's perspective, having an opportunity to have a year under your belt in the league. Just to let us know what that's been like in year 2 as opposed to year 1 as far as the transition of your game to the USHL level.
It definitely helps having a year under your belt for sure. Just with knowing playing in front of fans, I know most kids. I came from AAA my first year, and you're not used to that, and playing, and it's a lot better of hockey, a lot faster, and the schedule's a little bit different, and the games are a lot more competitive, a little bit longer. So just getting used to that is something that it takes a little bit. And then definitely your first year, for me, it took a little bit of getting adjusted to and finding a role of what would get me in the lineup every night and get me on the ice. And then to your second year, it starts. I think it was a little easier in the sense of what I knew to expect and how I knew how to prepare for the summertime to come in and have a better second year.
Well, you're at Sioux City, and then you'll have an opportunity to turn around and host Fargo this weekend. You've already made a college commitment, Ryan. You're going to be playing for Bowling Green in the CCHA, and you're going to see a couple of your teammates on the other side that have committed to Ohio State, your goalie Matt Scoff and also Max McCormick. So they won't be strangers. They'll be opponents that you'll have some familiarity with, particularly a goalie you'll know a little something about from practicing with him every day.
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool. I mean, hopefully, I think all of us should be going away next year to school, so that'll be pretty cool to maybe be facing off. On this year, you're battling for each other, and then next year you're battling against each other. So it's definitely pretty fun when you play against guys that you played with on teams in the past. I think it makes it a little more competitive.
You know, traveling is grueling for guys that come from California or Florida to pursue their hockey dreams. Now, this season, you've had a chance to be a little bit more settled being in Sioux City. Just to let us know a little bit about what that experience has been like, and having a little bit more of a semblance of family life, and instead of spending a lot of time traveling. I know you played in the Detroit Honey Baked program, and that's a long way from your roots in Florida.
Yeah, well, the first 2 years when I was in Detroit, my junior and senior year in high school, I billeted with a family. I was up there, but it was still definitely it was a little bit different. I mean, being away from home when I was that young, and then so these past 2 years in Sioux City it's been like my third and fourth year actually living away from home. So I'm kind of used to the whole process where a lot of kids when they come out to play junior hockey, it's their first year away from home and they get homesick. Where I kind of already been through that routine a little bit.
Well, it sounds like you made a pretty solid adjustment and enjoying Sioux City, and I know the fans up there will be excited after just that near miss last year. If you guys are able to get over the hump and break through, and boy, it's been extremely competitive. Just watching the races in both conferences this year on this week in the USHL, and just what about that as opposed to last year to this year? Do you feel that this season has been a little bit tougher, a little bit deeper competitively in the league?
Yeah, I think the league's a little more, especially in our division. We seem to be, we play our division a lot, and it seems to be a little bit more tighter. And I know last year we were battling it was with Tri-City we were battling with, but now this year it's Tri-City's right behind us, and we're trying to catch Des Moines too, and for a playoff spot. And it's definitely really competitive, especially coming towards the end. We have a lot of division games coming up, so it should be real high intensity and almost playoff hockey.
Well, we'll be watching very closely. Currently, your Musketeers 24-22-6, 54 points. You're in a flat-footed tie with Des Moines for sixth and final coveted playoff spot in the Western Conference. It's been tight and very competitive all season. And Ryan, keep up the good work here down the stretch as a second-year guy and one of the leaders on a team with 14 Division I commitments. I know you really want an opportunity to not let it end at the end of the regular season, but have an opportunity to play in the postseason. And we wish you the best, and we'll be following you very closely here on This Week in the USHL, and hopefully talk again down the road.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Ryan Carpenter, forward for the Sioux City Musketeers, our guest on This Week in the USHL.